Hey, join me on a nice, humid walk. So normally, if you follow me, you kind of know how I feel about NATO. I'm very much pro-NATO. I don't care what anybody's gonna say. I love NATO. That being said, I do now kind of wonder if the optics never get really relayed correctly, obviously, because of the person in charge. So let me break that down. Clearly, the United States has shifted its focus away from NATO and away from Europe. We're shutting down military units that operate in the EUCOM AOR, so to speak. Well, not so to speak, but we are. And because I was in one of those units. Ruined my plans. Anyways, let me not get off track here. But yeah, we're shutting down units. We're drawing down our troop size in Europe. And the easiest way we could have thrown this narrative or shaped the optics on this is easily by framing it like this. Clearly, the war in which Russia invaded Ukraine is not going as easy as Russia thought it was going to be. They have shown themselves to be a paper tiger. Therefore, the United States no longer needs to focus a lot of its efforts against who was historically our biggest adversary. So we are going to draw down our troop size within Europe because European countries have elevated their GDP for military expenditure. And they are also boosting their efforts to increase their troop presence within their own countries and within NATO countries and within the EU. Do you see how easy that was? To sit there and say that we are not abandoning our allies, but our allies are proving that they are finally stepping up militarily and are able to defend themselves, so we do not have to focus all of our efforts there and now can shift our efforts to Asia because China is now the emergent and main adversary. That is how you frame the optics. That is what we should have been doing, because China has been sitting here watching the war in Ukraine and hedging their bets and wanting to see if they could pull off the same stunt with invading Taiwan. So this is how you should have framed the optics. This is how the government should have framed that. Not we're abandoning Europe, but that we need to shift our focus to Asia because that's an emergent threat and the big bear has proven to be a paper tiger. That's how they should have done it. What I know.